This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, an electrical fire forced the Abraham Lincoln School to cancel classes today. That is according to the Bangor School Department.
According to Principal Shannon Shaw, the fire was small and quickly contained, but for the safety and well-being of students and staff, classes were canceled. Families who were affected are asked to keep an eye on emails and other official Bangor School Department channels for further updates. A thorough inspection and necessary repairs are underway to ensure the school is safe for everyone's return.
Well, 2 people are facing charges after 2 domestic violence assaults in Bangor. Bangor police were called to a local motel about 1 p.m. Saturday after getting a report about an alleged assault. Bangor Police Sergeant Jason McCambly says officers discovered the suspect, 44-year-old Roderick Martin of Mineola, Texas, was wanted in Texas on a warrant for a domestic violence incident. Officers found Martin in Ellsworth. He was arrested for domestic violence aggravated assault. Police also arrested 24-year-old Richard Lee of Bangor. About 2 p.m. on Sunday, officers were called to Union Street for a report of a male allegedly assaulting a female. Sergeant McCambly says when the first officer arrived, Lee attempted to flee. He was put in handcuffs with the assistance of a second officer, but Sergeant McCambly says Lee tried to run again when officers tried to put him in the cruiser. Officers discovered he was wanted on 4 outstanding warrants for failure to appear on previous criminal charges.
After searching for a more appropriate method to answer non-emergency calls, the Bangor Police Department developed the Bangor Community Action Team. The program has been operational since last fall, and the police department says it's already making a difference. Our Grace Blanchard sat down with the team to learn more.
In 2023, the Bangor Police Department received more than 36,000 calls, nearly 1/3 of which did not require sending an officer. The department decided to create a new response model that they say has been a game changer.
No 2 days are the same.
Absolutely not.
Meet the Bangor Community Action Team, also known as BCAT, a community-oriented division of the police department that responds to all non-police affiliated calls.
There are days that we make our own calls, essentially. We'll call things in ourselves.
We're always looking.
Help to solve the problem before
Very
it
proactive.
escalates, yeah.
According to the police chief, their goal was to provide a more appropriate response for wellness checks while reducing unnecessary police officer involvement.
Police officers aren't social workers. They're not trained to be social workers. So a lot of what these people needed were just connections with resources.
The team says many of the people they provide assistance to are experiencing homelessness, battling substance abuse, or mental illness. But they say their services go out to anyone in the community.
Before BCAT, people didn't necessarily know where to go to get resources. They didn't know where that person was that knew all of the resources, but now that BCAT is a thing, we have connections.
They say their work is already making an impact on the police department and the community.
We're making an impact, large and small, keeping somebody alive another day, helping somebody get a resource that they need, and that's more than enough for us.
To learn more, visit foxbangor.com. In Bangor, Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, last month, Governor Janet Mills unveiled Sears Island as her choice to develop an offshore wind facility. Now, opponents of the project are accusing her of using legislation to sidestep environmental protections. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bichard explains.
What's interesting, of course, is that the dunes are already protected under state law, and so it feels a bit contradictory for the state to then come in and say all of a sudden they're not protected.
One of the issues being raised with Sears Island's selection as an offshore wind port is the protected sand dunes that opponents say provide critical habitat for animals and plants along the coast. A public hearing was held in the Environment and Natural Resources Committee for a bill that would allow the governor to move forward with the project as long as all other applicable permitting and licensing criteria are met.
There's been a lot of rigor going into planning this project, and people have shown through their ecological surveys, that research into the environmental impact, that they are very conscious of possible effects and want to mitigate that at all costs.
Opponents say the bill is a way to sidestep governmental red tape because the governor knows the project wouldn't pass an environmental assessment.
There are some big environmental laws that are at play that require for example, an environmental assessment or an environmental impact statement to be performed when you're evaluating site selection for a particular facility, and that has not been done yet.
Proponents say the project will bring an estimated $180 billion in investment, good-paying electrical and engineering jobs, and could reduce electricity costs in the state.
People are overestimating how much damage this is going to do to the sand dunes, but also, insofar as there is an impact on the sand dunes, it's definitely worth it for what the state of Maine and the people of that area will be able to get from it.
Sells adds if this legislation passes, it's opening up the governor to state and federal lawsuits.
They're not going through the protocols that are normally gone through when you're dealing with a site selection or trying to put a facility in a very delicate area.
The bill will now face a work session in committee before making its way for a full vote of the legislature. At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
If you're ever touring the State House in Augusta, you'll notice the portraits of some of Maine's most prominent political figures, and most of them are men. One Maine artist is looking to change that by painting some of Maine's most prominent women in politics. Jerry Whitman, an artist from Dresden, says she was at the State House with her granddaughter last year when she asked Whitman why there were so few portraits of women lining the walls. Whitman says she didn't have a good answer for her granddaughter and took it upon herself to complete the task. Some of the women Whitman painted include Dora Pinkham, the first woman elected to the legislature in 1922, Governor Janet Mills, U.S. Senators Susan Collins and Olympia Snowe, and Speaker of the House Rachel Talbot Ross. She unveiled some of those portraits today in the Hall of Flags.
We have 24 here for the first year, and this will continue on for many years to come, and until we get the women painted, and there is women hanging on the walls here in this Capitol. Most of the representation hanging on these walls, if they're not governors, it's the first 100 years that Maine was a state. Well, women couldn't be elected the first 100 years, so why not give women the first 100 years that they could be elected for some of those portraits to hang on the walls.
To check out the portraits, they will be on display at the Margaret Chase Smith Library in Skowhegan from May 20th through November 27th. Some really talented work there, and what an inspiration as well to create those portraits.
You know, those are women who have, shaped the state of Maine, or at least helped shape the state of Maine. And I think it's great that the whole thing was born out of a question from a young girl who said, why aren't there more women on these walls? So what a great sort of origin for the project. And here's hoping that moving forward, other young people who walk through the State House won't have to ask that question.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get a first check of our forecast now and see what's coming our way weather-wise.
All right, Beth and Peter, thank you. Happy Monday. Look at these temperatures again today. 45 here in Bangor, also for Bar Harbor. Very comfortable day today temperature-wise, but we're about to go through some things again across our area. A windy day for sure out of the west, gusting near 25. We're going to keep that wind going tonight through tomorrow, and most likely into midday on Wednesday or so, with wind gusts near 25 to 30 miles per hour. Okay, so lots of clouds out there today. A couple of sprinkles and flurries around, not a big deal at all. The bigger deal, though, is to the west of us. We're going to change this pattern. You can see it changing here, right? Jet stream way up north here like this. We're going to get a couple systems in here that's likely going to bring us a couple waves of rain and snow beginning as soon as Wednesday afternoon. Our forecast so for tonight, though, is lots of clouds out there. There could be a sprinkle or a flurry, not a big deal at all, with low temperatures down near 30. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth and Peter.
Alrighty, Jeff, thank you so much. And coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, this winter's mild temperatures have saved some towns big on their annual budgets. Matthew Juroncic explains.
And though it appears that spring has sprung early this year, our Doug Banks tells us why it could still be a little too early for Green Thumb Mainers to start digging in their gardens. Those stories and more when we come right back.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Wow.
Nice. Thanks, bud.
You could get the lowest ever 1.99% financing on most Tundra hybrid and gas models. Toyota, let's go places.
Transform your surroundings with Paramount Paving, located in Bangor. They are your paving and seal coating experts. Whether it's residential maintenance to full commercial projects, Paramount Paving delivers quality that lasts. Book before June 1st and enjoy a $250 Visa gift card upon completion of your next paving project. Call us today at 602-8931 or visit us at ParamountPavingLLC.com. Paramount Paving, setting the standard for excellence. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Great Scott! This is Green Bear 420 in 2010. What kind of trip is this? I gotta get back to 2023. Wait, it's 2015. So much has changed. In 2023, we had a lot more glass, t-shirts, and novelties. It's gonna take a bolt of lightning to get me home. Finally, home at last. Now Green Bear 420, Green Bear Green Care is bigger and better than ever. To be continued.
Machias Savings Bank is proud to partner with Coastal Women's Health.
We want to be partnered with a company that's in Maine, that understands Maine values, but is committed to staying with Maine businesses and partnering for the future.
In the near future, Coastal Women's will be expanding our space to allow us to take care of more patients in southern Maine, and we're happy to be partnering with Machias to take care of our needs in that expansion.
Machias Savings Bank, the bank of yes.
When Rowell's Garage in Dover Foxcroft wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Winter officially ends tomorrow, and this year's winter was certainly milder than in previous years, and this may have allowed some communities to give thanks for a season that wasn't a budget buster this time around. Our Matthew Jaroncic has the story.
Tuesday is officially the first day of spring, and there looks to be no snow on the ground. And some town officials say it's been one of the more mild winters to date.
Normally right now, the lakes are still frozen, people are still fishing. But some of these lakes are going out right now, so that just tells you there wasn't much ice, so there wasn't a lot of cold weather.
For some communities, warmer weather like we're experiencing means not seeing public works out treating the roads. A saving of man-hours in salt and sand is welcomed by this small town.
We have saved some money because the overtime is down. Fuel is about average on the fuel.
However, for other communities, they may be saving some money, but just not as much.
They've gone out almost as many times as they would in an ordinary winter, because with frequency we've had freezing rain and icing incidents, and they still have to go out and salt the roads and try to make things safer.
In Howland, town manager David Loy says typically by this time of the year, the town's budget would be 75% used. But due to a lack of snow, he says they shouldn't break their budget.
Right now, I think it's a little under 65%. So, that shows that we didn't have a very hard winter at all.
But over in Lincoln, the Department of Public Works has had just as busy of a year as in previous years.
We've gone out, we've been deployed 23 times this season compared to 26 times at this same point in time last season.
Although spring is right around the corner, Bolin says communities aren't out of the thick of the winter season just yet.
We will stay in winter preparedness until the end of April.
Matthew Jaroncic, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And with the spring season comes a wide range of vibrant colors, but as we look to put winter behind us, it's important to remember it's still a little too early to dig into your garden this year. Our Doug Banks spoke with two experts who explain what to keep in mind.
This week, we say goodbye to Maine's unpredictable winter and blossom into spring. But temperatures dropping below freezing can cause damage to frost-sensitive crops.
A thin layer of ice that forms on the plant, which can cause the cell membranes to swell and crack, and that is what causes tissue damage.
Even with a fickle winter, mid to late May remains the optimal outdoor planting time. But there's still plenty to do to occupy the eager green thumb.
Starting trays and do a little seeding inside. They can get outside and do their mulching, weeding, edging their beds, stuff like that if they just really want to get into the dirt.
Some gardeners we spoke to say they're keeping their own traditions in bloom.
I'd say a few years ago during COVID, I got into outdoor gardening, and then my aunt got me into indoor plants. It's a good way to relieve stress, but also can be stress-inducing.
We always say generationally, we're always choosing stuff that reminds us of somebody. You know, oh geez, my grandmother had this, you know, purple iris. So it's neat to be able to, you know, kind of encompass ourselves in other families' traditions.
For more information about what's right for your garden, those resources will be available on our website, foxbangor.com. In Bangor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6. We've got sports coming up, including Maine women's hoops. They now know their opponent for the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Find out when, where, and who when we come right back.
Do you have a wet basement, nasty crawl space, settling foundation, sinking concrete, or clogged gutters? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems, all things basement-y. For over 30 years, thousands of homeowners throughout Maine and southeastern New Hampshire have trusted TC Hafford. Basement waterproofing, crawl space repair, stabilizing foundations, concrete leveling, and gutter installation. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems for all things basement-y.
As a child, you just couldn't keep me out of the puddles. That's where the acorn essentially was planted. As we got started, we had nothing in the bank, we were cash poor. Now it's just a one-man show. The support of my credit union, starting the business, the banking advice, when you can call them and they're there for you, that's tremendous. It's been a great asset for me and for my company's growth. It's really an exciting time, and my credit union made that possible.
Your best days of the year start here at Kubota Orange Days. It's the year's biggest selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. Plus the year's best deals, like 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. Orange goes all day. Sales ending soon. Visit your local dealer today.
My father worked at the mill for over 30 years. He was exposed to a great community and excelled at his job, but he was also exposed to asbestos. The air quality inside the mill was always his biggest complaint. He had no idea how deadly some of the products and materials were. When he was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew to call Joe Bornstein's office to get my dad the help he needs and the justice he deserves.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Healing Hands Massage in Hamden, providing professional massage services tailored specifically for their clients. Stop by Healing Hands Massage today. You'll thank yourself later.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We're going to start with some basketball here. Selection Sunday this past weekend, and after winning their record 10th America East title in program history, Maine women's basketball has learned their opponent and first-round destination for the 2024 NCAA tournament. They are going to Ohio State. The Buckeyes are a 2 seed in the tourney, so they will host the Black Bears, who went in as a 15 seed as projected. In the women's tournament, the first-round games are at the higher seed, so Maine will play in Columbus, Ohio. That game is at noon on Friday. Ohio State finished the year ranked 7th in the country and the top seed in the Big Ten tournament, but they were upset by Maryland in the first round there, so they're coming off of a loss. The Black Bears coming off of a win. Here was the reaction from them when they heard their name on Sunday night. All right, certainly an awesome moment for them. Wishing them luck. We'll talk to them on Tuesday. Let's hit the ice now. Eventually, we will stop talking about Maine women's hoops and Maine men's hockey. Today is not that day, though. After a huge win on Saturday, the Black Bears practically sweeping Hockey East's weekly awards. We'll start in net. After an 18-save shutout on Saturday night, freshman Albin Boya was named the conference's goaltender of the week. It was not only his first career shutout, but Maine's first playoff shutout since 2014. And on the offensive end, the freshmen, Bradley and Josh Nadeau, each winning Co-Hockey East Player of the Week. They each had 2 goals and 2 assists in the contest. Each of them have won Player of the Week once before, and it's Boya's second time being named Goaltender of the Week. All right, they will play 7:30 on Friday from TD Garden. Let's go to the high school scene now. It's day one of spring sports in Maine, technically with pitchers and catchers reporting for baseball and softball. So get out those calendars. Let's take a look at some important dates. For baseball and softball, like we said, pitchers and catchers in action Monday. The whole team reports next Monday. First games are April 11th. Playoffs start June 4th. The regional finals the week after, and states. It all wraps up on June 15th. Outdoor track now. Practices begin next Monday. The first meets are Tuesday, the 11th as well. The main state championships for outdoor track and field are June 1st. Old Town will be hosting Class B. And in Durham, New Hampshire at UNH are New England's. That is on June 8th. And finally, boys and girls lacrosse, they start practices or tryouts next Monday, the 11th. It's a busy day. The regular season starts too. Preliminary games start June 4th. Divisional championships for boys and girls are June 11th, and girls are June 12th, while states are June 14th and 15th, depending on boys or girls lacrosse and the class. All state finals games will be in Portland at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Wishing everyone a happy and healthy spring sports season. That is all the time we have for sports, though. Here's Jeff Weller with your full 5-day forecast. Jeff?
All right, Tyler, thank you. Happy Monday. Okay, so here we go. Going forward, spring officially arrives for us tomorrow, but there's going to be a couple speed bumps in this week as we have cooler temperatures on the way, and also a couple chances for rain and some snow. And on Thursday morning, we could be shoveling some snow around here. All right, the wind today out of the west around 20 miles per hour, gusting or 25. This will stay with us not just tonight, but through tomorrow and probably into Wednesday as well. We'll get those wind gusts near 25 throughout the day tomorrow, and most likely into tomorrow night and also into Wednesday before dying down. So overall, a windy stretch of weather once again. And our favorite here, a small craft advisory with wave heights out here approaching 8 to 10 feet into Wednesday afternoon. All right, so high temperatures today, not so bad, right? Above the average, 45 here in Bangor, also Bar Harbor, 43 Millinocket, 38 for Greenville. But we're going to work on this as we have some warmer temperatures and some cooler temperatures on the way, all happening this week ahead. All right, so low temperatures this morning, 26 here in Bangor, 29 Millinocket. This is well above the average. The average low is still near 20. All of us were above that this morning. All right, lots of clouds out there for today. There were a couple sprinkles and a couple flurries around earlier. Most of us, though, just staying mostly cloudy tonight into tomorrow. But we're changing the storm track here, and you can see what's happening, right? So the jet stream going north, way up here north of Vancouver, and bringing down systems kind of like this, right? Well, we're going to get a couple systems in that flow, and that'll likely begin to bring us some systems in here probably later on Wednesday, then again on Thursday, and then again probably on Saturday and Sunday. It's a cooler kind of flow too. That means we could get some rain and snow showers in here and a pretty active weather pattern kicking in for us later this week and early parts of next week. Tonight, though, no issues at all. Lots of clouds out there tonight. Tomorrow morning, again, a very nice day tomorrow. I'm calling for lots of sunshine. It could be partly cloudy to mostly sunny. It'll be somewhere in there. But then increasing clouds tomorrow night. Still dry, though. Here's Wednesday morning, dry. But by Wednesday afternoon, here's a rain-snow mix across the area, a light one, that will keep going into Wednesday evening. And then on Thursday, the back side of the system is going to get more juice to it. Where this stays all snow Thursday morning, there could be a good amount of snow Thursday morning. That's going to pull away by Friday morning. And then another system gets in here later on Saturday into Sunday. So again, a pretty active stretch of weather ahead for us. Where this stays all rain, though, we're looking at probably an inch of rain. But again, it's likely not going to do that. Some areas early Thursday could see a pretty good snowfall. Our forecast, though, going forward, though, looking at tonight, looking at mostly cloudy skies with precipitation holding off, maybe a couple areas of sprinkles, low temperatures down near 28 for tomorrow. All right, here we go. So lots of sunshine tomorrow, still breezy, high temperatures near 44. That's going to feel good with a gusty northwest wind. And then looking ahead here, 5-day forecast shows tomorrow a very nice day. Rain chances on Wednesday, rain snow mix Wednesday night into Thursday. That snow could be locally heavy early Thursday morning. We'll get a break on Friday, followed by some more snow on Saturday. Beth and Peter?
We never quite escape the rain, at least lately.
Yeah, at least not in the 5-day, but maybe better days to come.
Yeah, it's like hitting the jackpot at a slot machine. We want 5 suns.
Exactly.
That
would be great.
That would be great, right? Yeah. All right, well, there's still more to come. Stay with us.
Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get in and get away now before these deals are gone. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month or get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
So we've lived in this house coming up 23 years. We just bought the tractor and I haven't any idea how we survived without it.
We're trying to rebuild the rock wall on this new property. She says, pick that rock up and put it here. No, it'll look better if you turn it this way. No, we're gonna need to move it over there 5 feet.
I would come to him and say, can you do this for me? And he'd kind of, do the, ugh. But now he has a tractor, he's much more motivated.
Experience United, your local John Deere dealer.
Dear Savvy Traveler, airline food isn't what it used to be. I need to fuel up before I fly.
Dear Hangry, you can fill up before takeoff at Bangor International Airport. The Highlands Cafe has quick and casual. The Refueler Pub and Grill has heartier fare. And the Post Security Cafe, other side of TSA, offers a pick-me-up before wheels up. Bon appetit and bon voyage, Hangry. And remember, the savvy travel through Bangor International Airport. Flybangor.com.
Hey, Maine. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyu.
Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get in and get away now before these deals are gone. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month, or get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
Welcome back, everyone. On Silver Street in Waterville sits the Reddington Museum, a historic gem filled with items and artifacts from some of the city's most well-known families. One of the museum's biggest attractions is the Laverdiere Apothecary, which is where people had their prescriptions filled before drugstores were readily available. Our Jody Hersey takes us for a tour.
Long before drugstores, over-the-counter medications, and the internet allowed anyone to look up their ailing symptoms, Mainers would visit a druggist at an apothecary just like this one.
The druggist was completely on his own to create compounds that would take care of a variety of illnesses.
This collection of wall-to-wall elixirs, powders, oils, and other ingredients is all on display inside the Laverdiere's Apothecary at the Reddington Museum in Waterville.
And it represents their legacy of drugstores in Maine. And there are a lot of original articles that you would find in a drugstore going back to the 1800s.
The mahogany cabinets that house most of the collection came straight from a drugstore in Rumford, while a small room behind the sales counter is where the druggist would measure and mix different ingredients and keep a record of each prescription that was filled.
It's the awe factor when you step in and see the immensity of the collection.
This two-story home built by Asa Reddington, a member of George Washington's Honor Guard and a well-known businessman in Waterville, was deeded to the Historical Society in 1927 to use as a museum. Besides the apothecary, visitors will find everything from historic maps, furniture, cameras, and even a working 1880s music box on display.
I love discovering something new every day, whether it's something in the physical collection or if it's a letter or a newspaper article. I just love it.
The museum is open Fridays 2 to 6 p.m. and admission is by donation. In Waterville, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And another piece of Maine history right there, kind of stowed away a little.
Yeah. Watching that package is like entering a time capsule.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to see some of those products.
Yeah.
Even, the wheelchair, just how things have evolved in not that many years. But
always great when a story kind of sucks you in and sweeps you away. Yeah, you forget what you're doing.
Exactly.
All righty, well, that is going to do it for us, folks. From everyone here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.